Hey everyone, and welcome. As we're wrapping up 2025, it feels like K-culture is just moving at light speed, right? So today, we're going to unpack the three big, powerful forces that are really driving all that change.
So that brings us to the big question, As we're standing here in late 2025, what's really the engine behind K-culture? What are those key trends that didn't just define this year, but are also paving the road for what's next?
That is the question, K. And from everything we've been seeing, it really comes down to three main things. We've got this massive expansion of IP, or intellectual property. Then there's the enduring, unshakable power of stars. And finally, we're seeing this rapid, almost formal industrialization of a whole new creative field.
You nailed it, Jay. Okay, so let's dig into that first one, IP expansion in K-pop. This is a huge shift where we're seeing the story and the world, that IP, become just as crucial, if not more so, than the music alone.
And look, the poster child for this whole trend has to be the show it's just taken over everything. We're talking about the Netflix animation K-pop Demon Hunters. Seriously, even if you've somehow missed the show, I guarantee you've heard the music.
And this right here, this chart just shows the absolute dominance of that soundtrack. This isn't just one hit song making a splash. We're talking about Golden, Soda Pop, and Your Idol, all hitting the Billboard charts at the same time. I mean, think about that. For multiple songs from a single animated show to do that, it's practically unheard of.
Right, and this just lays out the new playbook perfectly. It's not just about a group dropping an album anymore. The formula, the real secret sauce, is this three-step process. You start with this super engaging IP, a whole universe like K-pop Demon Hunters. Then you bring an incredibly talented, actual artist to voice and perform the music. And finally, you drop the whole thing on a global platform like Netflix. What you get is something that's way bigger than just a cartoon. It becomes a legitimate, chart-topping musical force.
Okay, so it's fascinating, right? Fictional IP is literally creating new stars out of thin air. But on the flip side, the world of K-dramas is here to remind us that the magnetic pull of real, established actors, well, that's as powerful as it's ever been.
That's a perfect way to put it. And let's talk about the drama that really proves your point, TVN's Taepungsangsa. It was a period piece, but one that just perfectly captured the whole vibe of Korea back in the IMF crisis era. It just finished its run, and honestly, its stars pretty much defined acting this year.
Yeah, and the lead actor, Lee Jun-ho, he just summed up the entire heart of the show with this one line. He said, "We were inside a fence called Together." Wow, it just perfectly gets at that feeling of solidarity from that time. And that emotional depth, that's exactly why his performance hit so hard and why he landed the #1 spot for brand reputation among drama actors this year.
But here's the thing, it wasn't just him. The two leads together were an absolute powerhouse. You had Lee Jun-ho, who's just a master of that blend of romance and really raw human emotion. And then you had Kim Min-ha, who critics are saying literally redefined what it means to act in a period drama. She brought this very specific Korean cultural concept to life, the K-jongyo, that eldest daughter's heavy sense of responsibility, but she mixed it with this incredible warmth. Just amazing.
Yeah, and if we pull back and look at the bigger picture from just this past November, you see it's not just about one or two huge names. What this table is really showing us is a fundamental shift in the industry. Your top-tier actors, we're talking Lee Jun-ho, Kim Woo-bin, Shin Ye-yeon, they're not just sticking to the traditional TV networks anymore. They're on streaming, they're on cable, they're everywhere. The lines are totally blurred, which proves that a powerful performance from a true star will grab an audience, no matter what platform it's on.
That whole idea of blurring platforms is such a huge deal. And, it's the perfect segue into our third and final trend for today, which is about another group of creators who are leveling up into a full-blown industry, K-influencers.
And you can literally see that evolution happening right here on this timeline. I mean, what used to be a pretty informal scene is now being marked by these huge industry-defining events. We just had the K-Brand Awards, the massive Influencer Awards are just around the corner, and then it all culminates in SeoulCon. This tells you everything. This isn't just a side hustle anymore. It's a structured, celebrated industry.
Let's focus on that date for a second. December 12th, the 2025 Influencers Who Lit Up Korea Awards. This is a really big deal. And what's super interesting about it, what makes it different, is that it's not just about giving awards to the creators themselves. It's also designed to recognize and honor the brands and companies that worked with them on the most successful campaigns.
And that right there, that gets to the very heart of this whole trend. The mindset has totally shifted. We're moving away from seeing influencers as just, ad models for hire. Now the industry sees them as what they are, true industry partners. They're collaborators. They're their own platforms. A perfect example is someone like Sunji-Oh from Seraphim, who was a big winner at the K-Brand Awards. He's not just an influencer, he's a powerful business in his own right.
All right, so let's pull all this together now. As we've seen, there are these three really distinct, really powerful forces shaping K-culture as we close out 2025. And each one has basically created its own new formula for success.
So to recap, first up, K-pop. It's all about using that powerful IP to launch these massive global hits that live everywhere.
Exactly. Then you've got K-drama, where the raw, authentic power of human stars is still king, and they're driving hits on literally every platform you can think of.
And last but not least, K-influencers. They've totally leveled up, going from just being individual creators to becoming this really structured, professional, and seriously powerful industry.
Which, leaves us with a really fascinating question as we look ahead. You've got these three huge pillars: powerful IP, magnetic star power, and this newly professionalized creator industry. So the big question is, what's next? How are these three forces going to combine, or maybe even compete, to create the next big evolution in K-culture? It's going to be wild to watch.